There's no way his name's Kenny San Antonio.
Okay, he's not from San Antonio because he has the best accent of all time. He's from Rhode Island. Ken San Antonio. Come on, with that name, you gotta put him on the end.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Break the Ice Podcast. I am Ken Kidd. GLS is off today. I am here with a special guest today. My friend, also a boat captain. His name is Captain Dave Mollicone.
How are you, everybody?
Dave, I want to say thank you for joining us. Well, joining me today.
No problem, right?
We just the boat trip you just took me on was incredible.
Took them all for a nice ride. We went around Hog Island. We went to, we saw the Jamestown Bridge, the Newport Bridge. We're kind of around the block in the bay, Narragansett Bay. Beautiful. Catch the sunset on the way in. It was really, really nice.
Sure was, and I appreciate you taking me there. The thing is, I didn't know Rhode Island has 37 islands.
39 islands.
39 islands.
Yeah. So,
I don't think anybody else knew that.
No, it's got an amazing amount of coastline too, for the state. Again, I was telling you this out there. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful out there. So if you live in this state of Rhode Island and you don't experience the bay, the Narragansett Bay, you don't know what you're missing. It's absolutely beautiful. From April to November, it's what keeps me here. It's absolutely what keeps me here. If it wasn't for those 8 months, I'd be south. It's so beautiful.
The thing is, the boat's very beautiful. You have how many beds? 3 beds on it?
It sleeps about 8 people.
Yeah.
We have a couple different cabins. You can sleep in the main salon, and you can also sleep up where we are up in the flybridge. There's a nice area that you can sleep in up here too.
It's a beautiful boat. The thing is, I don't think we gave the name yet. The name of the boat is Escape. It's
Escape on the Bay. Yeah.
And tell the people, you do charter boat rides.
So charter boat rides, Escape on the Bay. We do fishing charters. We do bachelorette parties. We do birthday parties. We do bachelor parties. We take you out fishing. We take you out for sunset cruises. We have a couple 2-hour sunset cruises. Take you out for the sunset, bottle of champagne. It's absolutely beautiful. It's again, and Rhode Island is a beautiful state if you take advantage of the bay. Yeah.
I was one personally that's not a fan of Rhode Island, but after seeing all this, it makes you kind of like it a little more.
It's amazing, right?
It really is.
It doesn't feel like you're in Rhode Island.
It does not.
It feels like you're on vacation.
It sure does. But here's what I want to know. So you're telling me you do all these charters, champagne, all that. Does anything go on these charters?
Anything goes. What happens on the boat stays on the boat.
So there could be some kissing or all that.
Yeah.
Oh, it don't matter.
No.
So it could be. So you can see a pair of underwear down there.
You can see whatever you want.
And you won't judge.
It doesn't matter to me. No.
So it could be like a pair.
I drive the boat. Obviously, when I'm chartering a boat, I'm very attentive to safety. Safety is first and foremost. So we'll go through our safety checklist. We'll show where the life preservers are, where everything is. There's no drinking for me while I'm on the boat. I'm constantly watching the charter guests to make sure that they're safe and having a good time. But we do, again, we don't supply any of the alcohol. We have a grill on board. We'll cook. We'll serve you everything. You supply your own food and alcohol. We'll serve you. We'll cook for you. We supply ice, water, the grill, blender, anything like that. We supply, and you guys just bring the party and the happy attitudes. I bring you to a nice cove. I have a couple paddle boards. I have a nice swim mat. Nice swimming. It's just a great day out on the water when you're with us.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
This is my 5th year with the boat. We've been doing charters for the last 3.
And do you love them?
Love it. I love to have
entertain.
I love to entertain. We have Bluetooth sound system on board. Lots of LED lights. When it gets a little darker, we have a good amount of entertainment on the boat. Full everything that you would want in a house is on this boat. We have a bathroom, call it a head when you're on the boat. We have full galley.
Yeah, I don't like that name.
Kitchen.
I don't like when
I
people
know.
call it the
I
head. Just
know.
say you gotta piss.
Yeah, I know. You gotta
piss.
I call it the bathroom.
Yeah, no kidding. The head.
It's
I
not,
gotta hit the head. No, you gotta
I
piss.
gotta hit that. I gotta go to the bathroom, right? So we have a bathroom on the boat. We have a full kitchen, refrigerator, freezer, a wet bar. We, like I said, a grill. A Bluetooth music where if you want me to supply the music, you could plug in your phone, or you can send me a playlist, Spotify playlist ahead of time. I can play that. This way you can keep your phone free and for pictures and fun and social media. It's just a great time. Like I said, we get the paddle boards. We have also I have this. I invented these bar stools. A swim up bar we have on the back. You plug these things into the back of the swim platform. You can basically just hang out on these bar stools and have a great time. We have frozen drinks. We do everything on there.
What made you get into this?
I mean, I love being out here for one, and really, what got me into it was
the charter. I mean,
what got me to the charter is basically like this is the first time you ever been on the bay today, right?
Today.
What did you think?
I thought it was amazing, actually.
It's crazy,
I wasn't
right?
even scared or anything.
No, so for me, it's like I want other people to experience what it's like to be out on this bay, because it truly is a beautiful resource for Rhode Island. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we could be from this dock. We're 20 minutes away from Newport. We go into Newport Harbor. We're just about an hour from Block Island. We've been to Long Island. We can go into Providence. We go wherever. We're right in the middle of the bay where we're situated in Allen Harbor, North Kingston, Quonset. We're 10 miles in from Providence, 11 miles from Point Judith. So we're right in the middle of the bay. Right across the bay is Newport. We do a bunch of things.
But here's the thing: when you're doing all these charters, how do you? Just say you're going to Newport and you want to pull up there. What do you do?
So I make arrangements with the harbor master for either a mooring ball or for a dock space.
Yeah.
It's all prearranged. We pull into Newport. There's a public dock there as well.
You got to pay for that?
I pay for that.
Okay.
Yep. So I pull in. I call radio ahead. We get a dock space, whether it's at Bowen's Wharf or Newport Yachting Center or Westwind Marina. There's a bunch of different places that you can go to. You can dock for the day. You can actually stay the night. You can get off the boat. You can go do some shopping. Go eat. You can do whatever you want, and then come back on the boat, and we take you back. It's really whatever you want to do. Most of the time, we just we go out. There's different coves. The nice thing about Narragansett Bay, and Kenny mentioned earlier, there are 39 different islands out there. There's always a place where you can get out of the wind, where you can kind of get some calm area. And you can just kind of raft up and just throw the hook out, put the raft out, start the grill up, have the music going, some good drinks, some people paddle boards, and it's just a fun time,
But the thing is, people don't know. You keep talking about music. You're also a DJ.
I do DJ. I've been DJ since I was a kid. So we have all kinds of music. If you want me to supply the music, you just tell me what you want. It's usually, we like that kind of beachy vibe, that reggae vibe on the boat. Kind of keep it loose.
Maybe some rap music.
Or we could do rap
music.
Or we could, we could do some dance music, whatever. We have everything on board.
But what I'm shocked about is the boat is how you have a stock fridge with all beers.
Yeah.
You got a nice.
That's my personal use. If you're gonna charter the boat, you're gonna bring your own beer. But if you run out, you know what?
You'll supply a few.
I could share. Yeah, I'm good at sharing. Yeah.
But when you're on these charters, are you engaged in the group?
Oh yeah. So basically, I cater to every need of the guests.
So what? You just park the boat in the middle of the ocean?
Yeah, we throw the hook out. It's just the anchor. So we'll throw there to anchor out, and basically the guests will put out the water mat. I'll put out the paddle boards. You're free to use everything. I'll let you know. You jump in the water. You can swim. You can do anything. You can go get quahogs if you want.
What about if they wanted to get sexy?
They can get whatever they want.
So they can get sexy on this boat?
Whatever they want to.
Really?
Yeah. I mean things. It's things happen, you know.
So you're telling me on this dock, not in this boat
No.
specifically, like in this dock, there might be some swingers around here.
There might be. I don't
But
know. This kind of marina, maybe not so much, but maybe some of the other marinas.
So
that
what?
we
If you're
go
in
to.
Providence, a good chance you might meet a couple. No?
If you're in Newport, there's a real good chance that you'll meet a couple.
Maybe we'll go to Newport next time. I'm
And
looking for a nice
I'm
older
gonna have
lady.
to take Eddie out to Newport. You know what? You'd be great with the older ladies.
I would love a nice older lady with money. I don't care. I'll be that pool
She
boy.
might have a big yacht, you know.
Hey, fuck
right?
that. No, I'd rather ride
I'll
this
give
one.
you your captain's license, and then you can
I'll be
drive
Captain-
our boat.
Captain Kenny.
Captain Kenny.
But Dave, the other thing is though, what people don't know, you're also a construction manager. Is that what you?
That's my main livelihood. Is I'm a construction superintendent. I build, I have my high-rise license. I build big buildings.
Tell me what you
commercial
built.
building. One of my recent projects was Gillette Stadium. I was in, I built the lighthouse. I filled the north end zone stadium project. It's the lighthouse, tallest lighthouse in the country, the largest outdoor television screen in North America. It was really a pleasure working there. It was very intense working with the craft group, but in our company, I work for Suffolk Construction, which is an amazing construction company. We're the largest construction company in New England. We're known as America's Contractor. We're in 39 states
really?
now. Yeah, so we're all over the country. It's a great project. It's a great job to have. It's it's a great satisfaction building a building, going into a place where there's nothing, and then leaving where there's something that people are using every day. Whether currently I'm on a public safety building, which is fire and police in Brockton, and it's amazing to see what the end user is going to do with this.
Did you ever meet the Crafts at all?
Yeah, worked with Jonathan Kraft on a weekly basis.
Really?
And Bob Kraft as well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they nice people? Like how nice were they?
Very nice people.
Really?
Very nice people, down to earth people. For as billionaires go, they're very down to earth, regular people, just like the rest of us. But
I think they started. I think Robert Kraft made his kids start in the parking lot and all the way up. I think
they understand the value of hard work. They're hardworking people. I mean, the Patriots show that they're a hardworking team. I think that resonates throughout the Kraft group. I think that they understand what it takes. I mean, they're demanding, but they want things done right.
Yeah.
But you know what? You just you do what they ask.
I like the Kraft family. I like Robert Kraft. I like his off the field antics.
Yeah, he's. I mean, what you see with them is what you get. You know.
So the massage parlors. I mean, I
I don't know. You know, I don't know about the massage parlor, but
But the thing is, right? When you met them, have you ever had any in detail conversation with them, like about life and on any of that?
I think so. Yeah. There's walking with Jonathan at one point. We talked about what a success is.
What did he say it was?
I think family is a success. For him too. I mean, everybody has family issues. However, I think success comes in all different entities.
What's success for you?
For me, success is I have 3 daughters, and I think having them be successful and smart and intelligent and contributors to society is a success for me. I don't think no money in the world could replace that. I think I would trade anything for their success.
That's what, like, I have a tough time understanding what success is, like what I consider successful. Yeah. I just wish it was as easy as you're making it seem.
Well, it's not easy. It's hard work. You know, Kenny, every day I get up at 4 a.m. I'm on the road at 5. I'm at work by 6. I put in the hours. I've done that my whole life. I think it's easy to say when you see people that have stuff that they're lucky, I don't think there's not luck. I think it's hard work. People are dedicated. People, get up every morning. It takes a lot to get up every morning and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Go to work and do the right thing. It takes discipline. It takes a lot to do that. Stay the course, But again, success is not always money. It could be anything. As long as you're happy, you're successful.
It could be anything.
Could be anything.
You could just every day. If you like fishing, for an example, and that's what makes you happy, you could do that daily, and you can consider
that could be the best thing in your life. If that's what makes you happy. I think doing what makes you happy, doing something that you enjoy, is great.
I enjoy doing this. So
he's really good at it. Hopefully this thing takes off for him.
Well, I hope it does. But the thing is, another thing I like about you is you're an athlete too.
I played hockey my whole life, so I think that again, being part of sports, being part of a team, is a good life lesson. No matter how you approach things, I approach teamwork in my job every day. It takes every single person on the job site to be successful. So I think teamwork is everything. There's no one person that's going to do anything.
So it could be from the person sweeping the floor to the top.
Anybody, every single person on the job, whether you're sweeping floors or you're the master electrician or the best carpenter in the world, everybody has a job to do, and not one job is less important than the other job. Everything has to happen like an orchestra in order for the job to be a success. So it's important that everybody, all those pieces fall into place,
Well, yeah, it makes a team. There's no I in team, I mean.
No I in team.
There's an I in win, but no I in team.
No I in team.
But see, the thing is, when you're working at these big jobs, are you ever in awe, like, holy shit, I'm doing the Patriot, the Lighthouse? Because I would be.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
I think at some points you kind of you have to shake yourself and say, oh my God, some days you get a little overwhelmed and you say, what am I doing here? How did I get here? My first job was a $300,000 job, and here I am running a $300 million job, and you're saying, what happened? How did I get here? And then I kind of start to put things in little compartments, and I'm like, okay, every job is the same. They all have a foundation. They all have, a carpentry. They all have, every job has the same amount. Some there's a lot more of it. Some of the, there's a lot more drywall than there is on a big job than a small job. There's a lot more. You have to kind of take a step back and just catch your breath and just, look at it that way and just kind of reel yourself back in. But yeah, I mean, I get overwhelmed some days, and you're saying how is this all going to work?
Yeah.
But you have to have faith. You have to have faith in your team. You have to delegate to right people. You can't do it on your own. You have to recognize that you're not in charge of anything. I'm there to facilitate the work, and you have to trust other people. People build buildings. It's not. It's one of those things that you have to really, you have to trust other people. You can't do it all yourself.
Did you always trust other people with work?
I think I've always been that way.
Yeah.
I've always been one to be more. Less aggressive when it comes to work. I'm not a yeller. I'm not a screamer. I don't get things done that way. I get things done by, I think, honey attracts more bees. So I think I'm more of a, a coach. I'm more of a, I like to be more of a cheerleader. I like to point out the things that you're doing right more than the things that you're doing wrong. If you're doing something that's not correct, I kind of give a compliment and and try to like say, hey, what if we do it this way?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
try to put things into different. I try to have empathy for people all the time. I think that it's important that you have an open mind, because sometimes people are doing something, they've been doing something that way for a long time,
Yeah.
and it might not be the right way, but it's the right way for them, you know. So you try to lead them to a different perspective, try to open their eyes a little bit. You try to kind of work together, but maybe sometimes their idea is better than yours,
And you'll give
So
them
you
credit
have-
and shit.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Will you
know?
get in the hole with them if you had to?
I'm a very hands-on person,
Yeah.
so I tend to get in there
Yeah,
and,
good.
and do it. I've done a lot of jobs throughout my career, so I know what it takes. I know enough to be dangerous to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, enough to get in trouble. But I have a great imagination. I have a great way of thinking, and I think that I'll throw ideas out there, and I let people kind of make those ideas work.
Yeah.
And if they don't work, I'll constantly throw ideas at things to just.
Here's a question about that. Since you're in charge of a big crew and stuff, do you ever get too friendly with them, your workers?
There's a very fine line between that being a friend with workers and being
Because
a leader.
I have a
boss.
tough time. Like if I would want to be not friends, but like
Yeah, you want to. I mean, you're at work 10, 12 hours
Yeah.
a day.
They
so,
become like family.
You're with them more than you are at home. So it's important that you build a relationship with them, with everybody that you come in contact every day. You spend a lot of time with them. It's not pleasant to go to a job that you don't like.
I did that a couple of times.
So you want to be you want to be you want to make the job as fun as it can be. It's a job, but you want to make it a pleasurable experience. You don't want to go to work every day and say I got to go there. You
Yeah.
want to go to work and say I'm doing something that's meaningful. So I always try to connect with the job, whether it's in Brockton or it's in Foxborough or it's in Worcester. I try to get into that community and try to see what that job's about. And when my workers come on the site, we give an orientation, and we tell them it's just not a fire station. It's a fire station for the Brockton Fire Station, which these people are coming out of a building that literally was wired by Thomas Edison. So it was built in the 1800s.
Really?
And they're coming into a new facility. So these people are deserving of a new facility, state-of-the-art facility. So you want to get people to be excited about that. And even when I was working with the Patriots, you want to get your team involved. You want to say, hey, we're doing something for the New England Patriots. You want to be watching the game on Sunday, and they're going to pan to this big construction site that's in the stadium, and you want to say, wow, I'm part of that. You don't want to flip the channel and say, oh my God, I got to go there Monday. You want to call your family and say, look at what we're building,
That's kind of cool.
So you want to be proud of that. I did a hospital for the veterans. You want to make sure that the workers on site know that they're building something for veterans. These are people that served our country, that allow us to do things that we do every day, the freedoms that we have. These people served us, so you want them to know that they're building something that's meaningful. It's not just a building, it's for something that people are going to use and benefit from. So I try to make a human connection with each project that I have. This way the workers on site can feel that, and they're not just being sloppy, they're being clean, they're being neat, they're being respectful of the work that we're putting in place. I think it's important that we make a human connection with each building. That's kind of worked for me in my career.
You make me want to work for you.
I have a lot of great workers.
I'm not a great worker.
I love that. I love that a lot of the jobs that I have had a pleasure of the crews always do come in and thank me for running a good, nice, clean, safe job.
I'm sure that's nice to hear.
I think, again, people build buildings. It's not equipment. People have to run that equipment. People, have to communicate. And people have to be part of a team. In order for everybody to be successful, it's got to all gel together, And I think, as someone that has to lead that, has to lead by example. Somebody has to really preach that. Somebody has to have empathy for every single person on the site. I just don't go up to somebody and start telling them what they need to do. I go up to somebody every morning. I say good morning to them. I say, you know, how's your ride in? How's things going? I get a feel for how they're feeling. They might have got a flat. They might have, you know, they might have a problem at home. Now's not the time to tell them what I need. Now's the time to listen what their needs are. I'll come back to them later on in the day. Hey, how's it going? By the way, we need to do this today. You know, I don't just come out and start telling people what to do.
Well, people will probably get mad at that. Like this
people
fucking
aren't
guy.
responsive. Like you never know what kind of a day somebody's having. So I like to feel people out.
That's good.
See what kind of day they're having. See what, you know. Before I just come out and say what I need, I want to see what they need. You know, I think that's important.
Yeah, of course. Well, you're really a good boss.
I tried it.
Yeah, what the hell?
I tried it.
But let's get back to this boat.
All right,
Here's what I want to know about this boat. How do you know where you're going?
Well, you know, I kind of grew up on the bay. I always had a boat. My father had a boat. He taught me, you know, what's out there, the things to look out for, and it's again, it's just part of my growing up. You know, it's that's awesome, right? It's just part of being part of Rhode Island. You know, I just love being on the water.
I would love to see all like the sexy shit going on. Like, how do you know? Like, not here. Like, just say you're walking on the dock and all of a sudden you hear like,
that has happened.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
What did you do?
Nothing. You kind of.
Did you laugh?
Yeah.
Did you giggle like, wow?
You smile. It's like, wow.
Really? Where's that boat?
Good for you. You know.
But you thoroughly enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
What we'll do before I leave, well, we're not even done yet, but before I leave, I want to take a video of the boat. Like,
okay, yeah.
Like, you ever see MTV Cribs? They go through the boat.
Show them boat. That's
Yeah,
right.
we'll do that. But Dave, when you're on this boat, do you ever get like nervous or any of that, like shocks or any of that?
No, I think you know, part of being a captain is putting at ease your passengers, having the confidence to run a boat of this size. You know, not, you know, I mean, certainly weather can kick up at any moment.
Yeah.
And it has. But you also have to have the confidence and the ability and the time behind the wheel to you know, to know what's right and what's wrong, and also have the discretion to say, hey, today's not a good day.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna go out today, or, you know, so you don't want to take chances. You know, it's weather can kick up really quick out there. You know, you can go from like calm seas to a storm in a hurry. You know.
Well, what I thought was cool, like where we were, some areas where it was warm, then it got cold.
Yeah,
warm,
you hit those pockets out there. You know, you tuck behind Jamestown, it gets warm because the breeze isn't coming in. You know, if the breeze is coming from the south, it blocks the breeze. Like I was saying earlier, you can always find a place in the bay where it can be pleasant. You know, so there's a lot of little coves and a lot of little things that you can get to.
I really enjoy going out there. Like, and you were very
it's nice, right?
safe and all that.
Safe. We point out the safety things. Obviously.
How long is this boat?
42 feet overall. It's 14 and a half feet wide. It's a good size boat.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's a yacht kind of, right?
Yeah,
Or it is a yacht.
Yacht certified, yeah.
So what the fuck?
No, it's a good boat.
So basically you're riding around in a yacht.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
A
nice.
sexy yacht.
Sexy yacht. Yeah.
Dave,
She's beautiful.
she is. How did you come up
Escape.
with the name Escape?
Escape, it's from the song, the Pina Colada song, Rupert Holmes, Escape, you know.
Oh, that's what you do?
Yeah. So it's one of my favorite songs, and
all right.
and you know, and escape it. It's escape of everyday life. You know, you could come down here for an hour after a hard day of work, and just sit here and watch the waves and watch the sunset, and it's just absolutely
It's nice.
beautiful. It
is.
relaxes you. You know.
I like how you have a TV on here.
Couple TVs, yeah. Watch the sports games. It's nice. You know, I usually put YouTube on and watch boating videos.
Do you really?
I put a fish tank on. I'll have fish floating around.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're like a sick guy.
I not sick. Creative.
Creative guy.
Yeah.
You What's your drink of choice when you're on the boat? Not driving.
Corona. Corona is always nice. We have frozen drinks on site. We do mudslides. Pina colada is always nice. Anything tropical, anything kind of like get you in that boating atmosphere mood.
When do people really start kicking in with the boats, like booking stuff? Like what months usually are busiest?
Usually, come July, August, and September is pretty busy.
Really?
Yeah.
What about now when they want to go on these excursions? Do you ask questions like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
What
so
do you plan to accomplish?
yep. So if they want paddleboards, we obviously have the paddleboards. We have the swim platform.
Oh, you charge extra for that?
No, everything's included.
Oh,
so we'll just throw everything out there. Everything is included. So we have 2, 4, or 6 hour charters.
Okay.
2 hour is usually like a sunset kind of cruise.
Like a romantic thing.
Yeah, we kind of go out there and we'll take you around the bay, and then as we came in, you could see how that sun was setting.
It was nice.
So I positioned the boat so when we're coming in, you're seeing that sunset, So that's nice. A 4 hour would be like, go out, maybe a tour of Newport, come around Newport, maybe into Jamestown, kind of do that. Maybe throw the hook out for a little while. But like a 6 hour would be like, hey, we're gonna go to a cove, we're gonna throw the anchor out, we're gonna cook, we're gonna put the paddle boards out, we're gonna put the mat out, you're gonna swim, you're gonna have a good time.
That's a whole day.
You're gonna relax. That's a whole day.
Will you potty with them too or no?
I won't drink during the charter.
But will you go in the water with them?
I'll go in the water if asked. I'll go swimming a little bit.
Yeah.
But I basically cater to the passengers, make sure that everybody's safe. I'm constantly scanning to make sure that everybody is accounted for. Obviously, it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it sure is.
And I take it very serious. When we get back to the dock and we're tied up, I might crack one with the guests. We might hang out here for a little while and have a good time there. But for the most part, when I'm driving, for all of the part, when I'm driving the boat and I have passengers on board, it's strictly sober.
It has to be.
It has to.
You can't be cracking it.
No, it's by the law.
Yeah. And you said earlier the boating laws are a lot stricter than
yes.
The other
any kind of
DUIs and stuff.
DUIs on the boat it's a .02.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no refusal on the boat. If you refuse it, it's automatically guilt. So they can board you at any time. You have to have your safety stuff in order, extinguishers, life vest for every passenger, a throw ring, flares. I mean, there's a whole slew of things as a charter captain you have to have that's on the boat. You also have to have I belong to a random drug testing agency. At any moment, I could get a phone call.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
So at any moment, I could get a call. Hey, go get drug tested in order to keep my captain's license.
So anybody that's a captain can get a call.
Anytime. Well, if you're a charter, if you have charters,
really,
you have to belong. You have to belong to a random drug testing agency. Yeah.
That's interesting. They ever call you?
Have not.
No, you don't do drugs.
No,
what the fuck?
But I have. I just renewed. I have to provide them with my latest, lab results in order to get renewed for the year.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, in all fairness, I agree with that. I think being out on the water, it is kind of dangerous too.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
It's a lot of responsibility being out there. Yeah.
Of course, if you're in the middle of the ocean, what the hell?
But it's nice to have, to come out here and people have a great time, and
of course,
and we allow that to happen, and no one's, in the last 3 years with the charters, no one's gotten out of control, no one's gotten sick or anything like that.
That's good.
Yeah, we make sure that the safety of our guests is paramount.
You should wear a captain's hat.
I have my little Captain David hat on. Somebody got me that. Got me my Captain David hat, which is very special.
You like that name, Captain Dave?
Sure, why not?
I like it too. But Dave, the thing is, when you're doing these boating trips, right? Do you ever think man, these people, they're not gonna make it, like their wedding, just see how they're acting?
No, I think you know, you get a pretty good feel during the booking process.
Also, if you know they're train wrecks.
You kind of get a feel for when they start asking questions, what they can bring and stuff like that. And you know, and you gotta be smart. If you're going out for a 4-hour cruise and they're bringing, you know, 8 cases of alcohol down the dock, you're gonna say, hey, you know what? Why don't you leave 4 behind?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we'll take this. And then when we get back to the dock, we can, if you're out, you know. So you gotta be smart about it. You know, you don't want people to come out here and ruin a good time. You want people to have a good time, so you want people to enjoy it. So it's important that it's done in moderation. You know, people are swimming. People are, you know, it's you know, it's the effects of the sun and alcohol.
Yep.
You get there quick. So
Real quick.
So if you think you're gonna come out here with a bunch of alcohol and party, it's, you know, it's usually people pack excessive for stuff like that, and you can, by being out here all the time, I kind of know and I can guide them on what to take.
The thing is, you did a bachelorette party, right?
A few of them.
They have any of those dick straws? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, they bring on all.
What do you say?
Nothing.
You just let it go?
Yeah, of
But
course.
you notice it
I'll
though,
mix the
right?
drinks. Oh yeah.
So y'all mixing drinks
Oh,
with this
yeah.
straw?
You gotta do what you gotta do, Karen. You know, I'm real easy going.
I'm going to a bachelor party in September.
I didn't use one of the straws. I'm gonna get
You
that
did.
straight.
Well,
No.
I'm going to a bachelor party in September. I think I'm going to order my cousin one of those straws.
Yeah, that's
Well, he's a guy.
perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, he'd probably get ashamed. But no, I'm just curious.
No, yes, they bring most of the bachelorette parties, they'll bring decorations, they'll bring their own kind of stuff. They have special koozies made and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, but we again, they'll come on the boat. We'll serve them everything.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll make the drinks. We'll make everything. We'll swim out to you. If you're on the mat, we'll swim out with a drink. You know.
Seriously?
I usually take somebody. I always have somebody with me first meet or something like that. And you know, we cater to the customer.
Wow, that's
it's a
awesome.
great experience.
Wow.
If you have an empty, you got a full. You know, we're right on top of that. You know.
So customer service is the main thing.
Absolutely.
And also the boat's beautiful, but customer service with anything. You supply the boat, show good faith with everybody.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You have
It's a great time. It's a great time.
Do you want to expand it all? Or what's next for this escape?
No, I think that I just want to continue doing what I'm doing with this boat. It's a beautiful boat. It's you know, it's got everything that I need, and it's you know, I just want I like coming out here. I come out here almost every day. I'm down the boat during the season, and you know, you just want other people to experience it. Like I was thrilled that this is the first time that you ever experienced something like this.
I had a great time.
I mean, look at this. I mean, you got we're near Quonset Airport, so the military is doing. It's a constant air show. They have all their planes, and Kenny's watching one of
Fighter
those,
jet.
Yeah, one of those bombers coming in right now, and there's Black Hawk helicopters that come overhead all the time, and it's just a great place to be, and
It sure
beautiful,
is. Now,
you know?
before we get out of here, do you mind if we take a tour of the boat?
No, not at all. I love
All
it.
right,
love it.
here we're gonna go. We're gonna take a tour of the boat.
All right, so I'll want me to point out the nice things here. What we got here?
All right, we're taking a tour of the boat right now.
All right, so
Go ahead,
right,
Captain
right
Dave.
here, this is the helm station right here, so we can we'll throw out the horn, get some lights,
Speakers.
you know, lighted up speakers. We got a little music. We'll put a little music on for this, right? With our GPS or our radar, all of our instruments that we need. Here you have a nice sun deck here. This roof folds back, so you can actually have full sun up here. You have another cushion that goes in here. Great lounge area. We have some bean bags that we throw out on the deck. You can hang out on the deck, sit out there in the sun. It's nice.
Sure is.
Oh, we'll go downstairs and we'll check it out down there.
Boat's nice, huh? Shit.
So here we have we got the lower area here. We have a nice wet bar, cutting board. We have a nice fridge in here, fully stocked all the time. Nice cutting board.
Cutting
We have
board.
A gas grill here, transom shower.
What's that?
It's a nice little hot and cold shower. Come out of the salt water.
Oh.
You can rinse off on the deck here. It's beautiful, so that you're not you don't have that sticky, salty feeling. It's you get that when you go to the beach and you come home and you take a shower. You feel so refreshed. You get that instantly. You go in the water,
Really?
you come out, you rinse off right on the back deck, and it's really really.
If
nice.
I went in the water over here, I would have to definitely use a safety vest, a life vest.
I have life vests. They're all up top.
I can't
Usually
swim.
when we start the charter, I point out all the safety issues.
Thank
on the
God.
boat. Yeah, so a nice big swim platform. You have a swim ladder here. Again, I have some bar stools that slip into these things here. So this is kind of a swim up bar.
Yeah.
When you're just floating on the water and you swim up to the bar. You have the big mat. This is the big mat up here, Kenny. If you want to take a look at that.
Sure do.
Right. So we
Yep.
got that. I got the underwater lights. I'll throw those lights on so you can see that too.
Captain Dave. How am I doing? Not bad?
You're doing great, Kenny. So we do some underwater lights here. We'll,
Oh, yeah, huh?
light the water, which is really cool when the fish start coming to swim, where the fish are attracted to the light. So when you're out here, you see some nice fish and stuff like that, So come on, we'll go into the main salon here, right? Right. TV over here. Behind here, you got a nice little wine fridge.
You're a big wine guy, huh?
Oh, yeah, I gotta plug the boat in. We're on battery power right now. I come down here. Freezer, fridge, microwave, stove, sink. You got a couple sleeping quarters here. Again, Kenny don't like the headward, but
This is the bathroom where you
bathroom,
piss. Where you
little
take piss.
bathroom, nice, You got a nice big shower in here, separate shower. It's nice.
Very nice.
Usually this area here is off limits. I close the door. This is my sleeping quarters.
TV.
I can throw the light on.
Yeah, it's
here.
nice.
Check this out.
It's nice and relaxing.
So,
Yeah.
we have our escape apparel.
Now, do you give these? You probably should give these to the customers.
Well, we can order them if
Yeah.
they want them, But that's what we wear. We wear
It's
a little
nice.
uniform,
Yeah, Dave. This is really nice.
What
the fuck is
you have heat, AC in here, so we have full generator. So even when we're out at sea,
Yeah.
you have heat, microwave, stove. The wine stays cold.
Is this a pineapple?
Yeah,
That's odd. That's odd. It's kind of odd.
That's odd. What are you talking about? That's
It's kind of odd.
totally normal for the boating world.
Oh.
Right? So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put the power on in here. So we'll put our power on. We've been at dock. Came out here.
And what? That charges it?
Well, this gives you the boat power. So we'll put the power on the boat while you're at the dock. Yeah, this will charge the batteries too while you're at while you're dock.
You can probably get a good night's sleep here.
It's a great night's sleep.
Yeah, huh?
It's really, really nice. Right? Right.
I'm really impressed with this.
Yeah. So,
I like how you got the paper towels here.
right.
It's beautiful.
And then if I want, I could change the lights, different color, white.
Yeah, I like
It up
this.
a little bit. We have our blender. We got our nice coolest cooler. We make our frozen drinks out here.
Holy
Nice
shit.
with our blender, with plates. Everything's really cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is awesome, right?
This is the escape. You want to say anything else before we get out of here? How do we contact you?
You can go Instagram, Escape on the Bay. You can call me 401-808-0495 is my cell number. That's but mostly Instagram, Escape on the Bay. Like our page. You can find out all the information on that page. You can see some pictures. You can see we have a ton of reviews on that as well.
All right, Dave. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you going on the water. I appreciate this a lot. Hopefully, I can come on again.
Tomorrow we're gonna go to Blue for lunch.
Possibly. I want to thank you, everybody, for joining us. This episode will be out in a couple weeks.
All right.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
Great
See you
job,
guys
okay.
later. Thank
All
you.
right.